I'm excited to share with you a new paper line at 12 by 12 cardstock shop. This is Thai Unryu Mulberry paper. You probably recognize it as mulberry paper, and it is mulberry paper, but it is straight from Thailand, so it has a very unique name. It is a beautiful, wispy, kind of delicate and fragile paper, and you can see it has these beautiful kind of natural fibers running through it. The lighter colors are a bit more translucent than the darker colors are, but it is just a beautiful, elegant touch to your projects. This is beautiful for card making, and you can use it as layers on cake toppers and party decor, all kinds of things. It looks beautiful as an envelope insert, so inserted inside your envelope. Or you could wrap invitations in it or wrap presents in it. So many fun ideas. But it comes in 28 colors. And one thing I'm excited about is you typically see it in these lighter kind of pastel colors. But we've got some beautiful, really deep and rich, vibrant colors that I haven't really seen before. Like these ones in particular are just beautiful. So I know you're going to make lots of fun things with this. We've got some design team projects to inspire you. Okay, and then a few little tips about this paper. So because it is pretty delicate and fragile, it can fairly easily get folded or wrinkled. Now we would never ship it out like this, but this is some that got damaged on its way to us. There was just a little bit that wasn't packaged properly. And so I wanted to show you this fun tip. You can actually iron this. So I just used a warm iron, went over the paper with the iron, and it smoothed out all the wrinkles. So you can see this is the same, this was in the same bundle as this, but it's actually smooth now. So if you accidentally wrinkle it, maybe you're storing it, it gets folded on accident, or something gets set on top of it that causes it to crinkle up like this, you can totally fix that. The next question I know we are going to get is, how does this cut? So I did a few test cuts for you so I could answer that question. So the first cut I did was actually on just like a basic paper trimmer like this. And you can see I tried to cut it right across here, and it just kind of pulled, the blade kind of pulled it. I have a fairly new blade, so I don't think it's an issue of it being a dull blade. I think it just doesn't cut well on this kind of manual type of cutter. So it does actually cut with scissors. So you can see you can very cleanly cut it with scissors if you want a specific shape. So that's scissors. And then I wanted to test it out on my Cricut. So a couple tips, this is very fine, thin paper. So you'll want to use a brayer. This is what a brayer looks like. And once you get your paper on there, just roll the brayer, and that helps just smooth out any bubbles and get it nice and firmly attached to your mat. And then I tested it with just a normal, regular fine tip blade on my Cricut Maker. And that's the result I get. It kind of pulled and skipped, very similar to what it did with the manual cutter. So it was kind of a bust on that. And I did set it at a very low pressure on that one. Then I tried the rotary trimmer, which is usually used for fabric. And on the Cricut settings in Design Space, there is actually a setting for mulberry paper, and it prompts you to use the rotary cutter, which I tried, and that actually just worked beautifully. I double cut it just because the first time I wasn't quite sure if it had gone all the way through, but it cut nice and cleanly, so that's pretty exciting. And then I wanted to show you one other option if you wanted to cut shapes but don't have a Cricut Maker. This is going back to old school, 1990s scrapbooking day. This mulberry paper was super popular back in the 90s, and we used it on cards and scrapbook pages. So this is a technique I remember from then. So you take a shape, any shape, I've got a heart here, and you just lightly trace it. And then you take a Q-tip and some water, and you just dip your Q-tip in the water, and then you're going to follow along the shape with your Q-tip. But I like having it laid on the Cricut mat because it just adds a little bit of stability while I'm trying to do this. So you could do letters or any kind of shapes, but once you get it wet, it will actually just pull right apart. So you can see I made a little heart shape, but you could also do letters or just plain squares if you wanted to, just do some layering for a card. So it comes out perfectly that way. And you can, draw whatever shape you want. Using the tracing helps you get more of guided shapes, but you could just do squares or rectangles or circles for layering. I did notice when I peeled it off my mat, it leaves behind quite a few fibers. You can see it kind of unstickied my mat. So you'll probably want to use that sparingly or have a special mat that you use just for when you're cutting the mulberry paper. So that is everything that I know about Thai Unryu paper. And we cannot wait for it to start arriving in your home so we can see what you'll make with it. That's always one of the best parts, is seeing what customers make and sharing it and getting inspired by you. So these do come in 10 packs of a single color, or you can buy the variety pack, which has one of each color. And they're in the shop now. So we hope that these will up-level your crafting. Have a great day.